I've never seen him walk, have I, Patrick?
No, you've never seen Patrick walk. But he can tell you something about you.
No!
By the way you walk.
Stop.
Okay, fine.
Stop. So can
He has a skill.
Oddly, so could my orthopedic guy. Hey, look, your knee is messed up. Thank you.
Them osteopaths, they're always finding.
Where was I? Was it Dan? No, it wasn't Dan Rappaport. It was
Tease.
That was it. Neener, boo boo. Like, listen, subscribe. Like, listen, subscribe. Have your friends like, listen, subscribe. Have your mom like, listen, subscribe. Have your in-laws like, listen. There you go. Let's think about this for just a minute. Do you love your in-laws? Have them like, listen, or subscribe to This Is True Really News like you do. If you don't like your in-laws, have them like, listen, or subscribe to This Is True Really News, because revenge is the best. Is a dessert. How's it go? Boy, this Alzheimer's is not my friend.
Revenge is a main course. If served cold like borscht, isn't exactly what you were looking for anyway.
Revenge is a dish best served screwy. Like, subscribe, follow. This is True Really News.
This is True Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
Wow.
Our saga begins.
Dessert is a dish. No,
it's
dish
not.
Dish is a saddle. No.
If you take the dish out of the dishwasher
You have
and it's warm,
2 sandwiches short of a
the
drawer.
groundhog will tell you to go home for 6 more weeks.
Speaking of which, I realize it's not, well, maybe February when someone listens to this, but it's not now. It's almost spring. In Minnesota, it's hard to tell.
Because we've had 3 false springs so far.
Yeah. Frickin' hobbits. Look what they started. Second damn lunch, my guy. You.
Speaking of second damn lunch.
Yeah, I know. Let's say we can this and go eat, and then we'll come back and try it again. Once we're refreshed.
It reminds me of a time when we left the station, had beer at dinner, came back and couldn't finish anything.
Hey, in our defense, we were at the station and had dinner because there was so much snow you couldn't go anywhere.
That's right.
We did actually navigate to my house eventually.
Yep.
By the time we got back to the studio, wasn't it Jim Kerr that picked us up with
Was it Jimmy?
Or he sent
somebody in a truck.
And I got a ride home on a snowmobile.
Is that how you did it? I'm just trying to remember. I can't remember all of, because there were
several of them. Yeah.
Yes.
Global frickin' warming.
Our saga begins with Kevin Burling telling his office manager he did not want to celebrate his birthday because it would trigger a panic attack.
Okay.
The company, Gravity Diagnostics, had a practice of having birthday celebrations at the office for employees. They did it at K102 for us when we were there too, right?
Did they?
Yeah, they did it all the time.
My birthday's only in June.
So is mine.
Well, then why were they having parties all the time for us?
We're that special.
Okay.
Anyway, despite his request,
missed a lot of my parties then.
The company surprised him on his birthday with the celebration in the lunchroom.
I don't want one. Let's make it a surprise.
Right on cue, Burling had a panic attack. He quickly left and finished the rest of his lunch in his car, then texted his manager, upset that the company failed to accommodate his request. A day after the celebration,
of course,
Burling was called into a meeting where he was confronted and criticized
for having a panic attack,
for his reaction. And guess what?
They fired him.
No.
He had a panic
confrontation triggered another panic attack, and he was sent home. 2 days later, he received a letter of termination because of the events of the previous week.
Wow, I thought this was a nice company to work for a second there.
Founder and Chief Operating Officer Julie Brazil said Burling was terminated for violating a workplace violence policy, and the company stands by its decision. Well, a jury didn't. They awarded Kevin $450,000, finding that he suffered an adverse employment action because of his anxiety disability. Look, this stuff is real, people. Mental health issues, actually, as a person who has his own.
Well, yeah, you have many issues.
Yeah, exactly. I can attest to you.
Some of which are certifiable, and others of which we think he made up, but we're not actually can't prove that. So
enough people point and laugh that I'm happy with it.
We just nod and go, "That's right, that's good." Yeah. So I have golf stories up the yin and the yang.
Oh wow, how nice! I hope they're clean enough to read.
They are.
Oh,
do you want the stupid crook story, the kind of sweetheart story, or let's do the stupid crook story. Hang on.
Okay, do the stupid crook story.
I need drugs before I do that.
Okay. Are these for something special?
No, they're just supplements and shit. So I don't get fat again.
Again, he said. Still.
That'd be closer. A Florida man. Come on.
By the way, speaking of which, did I tell you what happened at church the other Sunday? I was going to play with the band.
Did you heal someone of fatness?
No. But, you and I have both fallen upstairs before.
Oh, heavens. I've fallen up, down, across.
Right. So I'm
through once, but let's not get into that now.
Carrying my pedal board in one hand in a big anvil case. My guitars are on my back in a backpack style guitar case. And I'm going up the marble stairs to get to the sanctuary when my toes on my left foot don't lift high enough because they're broken and don't work right. And they hit the front of the step. And then my box hit the front of the step. And then I started falling and I spun around because I was going to end up dropping my pedal board. And I threw my arm out against the step and there was clatter, thump, thump, clatter. And of course, Ian shouts out, "You okay?" And then I hear thump, 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 thump. And I swear to you, a dive klaxon went off. Fat guy down on the stairs. Fat guy down on the stairs.
Yeah.
Everybody appeared. You okay?
There are people that aren't even alive anymore that got up and ran over there just to see.
Exactly.
Happens every time.
It was hilarious. And of course, the music director says, "Well, at least we care about you." I said, "Heck with that. I thought you were coming up to point and laugh." Yeah. Chop. You go ahead. Sorry.
Don't call me a goat head. Here we are. The story begins with the classic, a Florida man. I mean, come on. Every great crime story seems to start with that lately.
Oh, yeah.
A Florida man faces prison time for stealing and reselling golf carts. Our Florida man admitted to stealing and selling dozens of them, valued at over $200,000 over a 4-year period.
Oh, my.
And for that, he got 2 years in prison.
He was prolific.
Apparently reasonably good at it for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, wait for it. Nathan Rodney Nelson, which is, of course, a great Florida name for a golf car bandit, come on.
Nathan Nelson. Yeah, I love it.
Was reportedly struggling to make ends meet. He has a career as a home inspector. Isn't that a government job? No,
are you a contractor to the government for that?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Anyway, he had a career as a home inspector when he started scheming to pilfer the golf carts from courses.
Pilfer sounds like a tiny word for a big golf cart.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's going to pilfer these carts from the golf course and then ever so cleverly list them on online marketplace sites for $2,500 each.
That'll help you make ends meet.
It's about half of what they're worth, but so you're going to get them sold pretty quick.
Well, they're used, right?
So in March, because let's be honest, the golf season was just gearing up for most of us up north. The 46-year-old told the prosecutors he would usually steal 2 carts at a time using common ignition keys. Easy enough. He estimates that there were 84 carts he stole or attempted to steal, and he racked up over $200,000 in profit. The trouble is, and this is where the Florida man's story takes that Florida man turn that they always do. The trouble is, Nate Nelson was not particularly careful about covering his tracks. And no, I'm not talking about the ones that you make when it's muddy and soupy out and your cart goes zzz.
Yeah. And slide sideways very easily.
You might say he had a calling card like the wet. Remember the Wet Bandits? Home Alone?
Oh, barely.
Oh, I watch that movie every year.
I had a feeling you might.
Yep. I mean, it's Joe Pesci, dude.
Yeah, well, I watch
with the iron in the face. Come on.
I watch Kurosawa every year.
Of course you do.
In Japanese.
Of course. I wouldn't doubt that.
Movie's like 6 hours long.
Yeah. It only seems like it's 7 days. He would sell the carts with scorecards and pencils in tow. making it rather easy for the FBI and various other law enforcement agencies to trace the origins of the crimes.
How was he going to explain that one away?
Oh, not enough to nail him with that, maybe. So there was also the little matter that he used his actual personal phone number to conduct his business under an alias.
Has he not watched a single crime drama? He needs a burner cell.
I have got. See, you use a burner phone, man.
Yeah, that's all there is to it.
I don't know why they call them that for a reason. I don't know why. Apparently, if you have a burner phone, you're unfindable. In a memo read in court, Nelson's lawyer contended of his client, it became easier and easier for him to stray from his long-held moral compass.
Yeah. To the tune of about $50,000 a year.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah. In total, Nelson was charged with 8 crimes, ordered to pay back the value of the golf carts, which is $220,000. He entered a guilty plea for the felony charge of interstate transportation of stolen property.
Did you say interesting transportation?
Interstate transportation.
Oh, good.
Well, you got to admit it was interesting transportation he stole. It's not like you're here. I got a Tesla. Not this guy, boy. I had a golf cart.
Well, he has a proto Tesla.
Anyway, for pleading guilty, 7 charges originally brought against him were dropped. So actually, he lost $20,000, gets to spend 2 years in jail.
Wow. Well, it'll be easier to get by for those 2 years.
Clever. Just clever. Yeah, you won't have. I mean, most of your bills are taken care of. They feed you, they clothe you,
they tell you when to get up and
exactly.
So, speaking of Florida, man, headlines.
I am not doing it. Every time you say headlines, I come up and say corduroy pillow, and I'm just not going to be that kind of like trained monkey.
Fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Corduroy pillowcase is what I should say.
Oh, they're fine.
Yeah.
Florida man caught with cocaine stuffed Lunchables.
His name's not Nathan, is it?
It might be. Florida man crashes car into business trying to time travel. Have to get to 88 miles an hour. I wonder if it was a DeLorean.
You do kind of.
Florida man crawls into a Cracker Barrel bathroom stall to proposition an occupant for sex. Hey, you busy? Can I?
Hey, you're busy. That might be the line of the day.
Florida man under extreme stress forgets how to stand.
So Florida man falls over is what we're saying here.
Yeah, but this is more entertaining to read.
Yeah, it's true.
Florida man drinks goat blood in ritual sacrifice, runs for Senate. Florida man's church loses Florida man's church loses tax exempt status because it
drank goat's blood and ran for the Senate.
No, it's a nightclub.
Oh.
And finally, drunk machete wielding Florida man chases neighbor on lawnmower. Tony,
giddy up. Okay, how many of you are on Twitter? Raise your hand. How many are still on Twitter? Because now that Elon owns it. Oh, look, a few hands are going down there. Yeah. How many? And there are a bunch of people going back onto Twitter because they think Elon is now the savior. Dude, he's not. But that's beside the. On Twitter,
yep.
Dan Rappaport is a sports guy.
Yes, he is.
I like Dan generally.
I've heard of him.
So he reposted from Front Office Sports a tweet. If you follow golf at all, John Daly is a name you still hear because John is just recently set some sort of indoor world record for a Taco Bell order. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars of a Taco Bell order.
But he used to hit the ball so hard.
He was the old game. He was that bridge.
Yeah.
There was the old game. And then there was like David Duval and Tiger Woods bringing in the new game.
Yeah.
He was that momentary bridge.
Oh, man.
The trouble is
smack the crap out of that thing.
He's
nuts.
Yeah, he's trailer trash.
And he's hilarious.
Who got to play golf at the highest levels.
Yep.
But he is still the world's greatest interview. Mm-hmm. His son, who you first saw way back when on a Netflix thing called they did a thing on Little Golfers.
Okay.
Anna Kourniakova's kid was playing. John Daly Jr. was playing those kind of things.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, John's not a little kid anymore. So from Front Office Sports, John Daly, too, the son of PGA pro John Daly, is, like it or not, they're doing NILs now. Name, image, likeness in college, so you can make some money off what you're doing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I
They
hear it,
couldn't
because-
just call it endorsement policy. It's now NILs.
Well, if they're using the likeness of a college player and his number together, they should owe him something.
You would think.
The school can't just earn profit off it, for Pete's sake. Anyway.
You're new here, aren't you? From Front Office Sports, John Daly, too, the son of PGA pro John Daly, who is still a hoot at a great interview, is Hooters' first NIL ambassador. Daniel Rappaport said, "This is a first ballot Hall of Fame quote." And I quote, "I have seen my father's great relationship with Hooters over the years. And I am proud to continue my family's association with this iconic brand." Brands?
Has a beach theme.
Well, sort of. It's a family restaurant. What are you saying?
That's what they used to remember. They used to say it's a family restaurant.
We're a family restaurant. They just happen to have
Hooters.
The two girls who are posing with John look very family oriented. Although if I were their dad, I might have them. Well, first I was going to say get a next size up shirt and probably a little longer skirt, but mostly I just say, would you wear some clothes? You're not going out dressed like that.
For Holy Pete.
Like that. Family's long association.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.